department is
So-
artistic.
So, my son over there. Roger, you were talking about like sealing the plenums and getting all that done, and I know that in the past I've been in the trade for a long time. I've installed, done service, everything, right? But I leave the technical installation to the guys that really can get out there and do it. But I know when you put a collar in a plenum, and then you put the mastic on there, that when you're messing with that, it can break holes in the mastic and do that. So how do you prevent that?
Because as you see, this when it's cold, for some reason the cookie is like cooking. So this one gets a little hotter.
Okay.
But when it's summertime, this is gonna be a lot more watery.
Okay.
So what happens is when you move the plenum around and try to screw it together, all the vibration and all the movements are gonna make the dog sealer fail, and you're gonna start having small holes. Well, a lot of people say, well, it's just a tiny little hole, I don't have to worry about it. But when you add every single hole on the system, you can come out with like a 6 or 8 inch dog that you use wasting in your attic, which an 8 inch dog is 160 CFMs that you're gonna be used. If your system is 400 CFMs and you wasting 75 or 100 CFMs, you're wasting some like 25%.
Yeah, that's a huge percentage.
Yes,
of the
correct. So
performance
that's
of the
why we have to make sure. I mean, if you have a little bit of time, get there in the morning, seal your collars, let it sit on the sun for about an hour, hour and a half. That should let this dry. And before you install your plenum to the air handler, you can put a little bit more. I know it's kind of going extra mile on it, but it's going to be better on the long run. You're going to provide better quality of work.
Well, it seems like, I mean, by putting in a system like this, we're going the extra mile already anyway.
Yes,
so,
correct.
so just a little bit of more incremental work to make it come out right every time is really smart. And you're the sage of this, right? To me, you're the guy with the most experience. I like to tell people I've sold hundreds of these. He probably installed the first 150 of these I sold. So, and designed. So, on this one, we're going to have the duct here. So I noticed that there's no Pookie on here. So you're going to get up here and seal this.
Correct.
And then once that duct's connected, so there's no movement. Is that-
Movement, correct.
Okay,
so the
great.
way I don't break any of the sealing in there, and then we create a leak. And as I talked to you about, I can show you something really quick. If you look inside the boot, you're gonna see those elbows have mastic inside.
Oh, wow.
So, like I'm saying, before what people used to do, they used to use, the duct tape or flex tape and go around the elbow. Well, like I'm saying again, that's gonna save your company a little bit of money because you're not gonna be wasting a lot of tape. And CWI is fairly cheap. So you put some of that inside the elbow, and when that dries out, it's never gonna break. It's gonna last forever.
It's like it's got an exclusive seal.
Correct. So you don't put any of the flex tape outside, and you for sure gonna get zeros.
Amazing. So now contractors that I'm going to be trying to tell to do this, right? I mean, that's the whole idea of this training program, is to get more contractors involved. We have to electrify millions of homes in the next 10 years, right? So we have to reduce carbon emissions by 40% in 9 years, because now it's 2021. I mean, we were saying this in 2018, and now in 2021, they're really just starting the motion. So there's been 3 years of getting ready, and now we have to really hustle. So contractors are going to say, that takes too long, it's too hard, it's whatever. But I mean, what time is it right now? It is 12:10.
12.
What time did you get here this morning?
I get here at 9.
That system, there was nothing there this morning.
Correct.
You've done all this work in 3 hours.
3 hours. And I mean, this is gonna come with practice. You're not gonna expect a new guy to do this in the same amount of time. But if you can give them the time and training and show them how to do things, they can install a system like this in a day. Because all the connections are so much easier, and the only thing you have to worry about is just getting everything sealed. And CWIS is a lot easier than installing tape. You're not gonna cut your fingers when you tape in.
Right.
You're not gonna, go crazy on the tape. So it takes probably less time using the CWI inside actually taping the duct.
Well, I remember when I used to use tape and duct tape stuff, especially with that plastic tape that stretches and doesn't
Yes.
break. And you've got the tape wrapped around the duct, and you're trying to stretch it and break it, and you're pulling everything apart, and you reach in your pocket, you can't find your knife. this is just so much easier, right? You paint it on, you're done. There's
Paint
no
it on.
hassle. You're not dropping your tape off your belt all day long when you're on the ladder. It's just done right?
Correct. And if, I mean, again, if you're looking at price-wise, a roll of tape, how much do you think a roll of tape costs you?
Well, that's kind of an awareness campaign that we have. A roll of good duct tape is $10-12.
10, 12 bucks. A bucket of dog sealer is about the same price, correct?
Right.
So with a bucket of dog sealer, you're gonna probably seal 100 hard 90s. With a roll of tape, you're only gonna do maybe 3 or 4. No, probably you can do like 10 or 20. But you're gonna do a lot more then.
So what's your secret to keeping that stuff fresh? Because I keep finding stuff in our dumpster.
Putting the lid on it.
Right.
I mean,
how difficult is that to do?
what you can do is you can also, like with the empty buckets, you can save your leads, keep it on the back of your truck. If you lose one lead, you know you have extra leads. I mean, you can go on the back of my truck and I have like 10 leads back there. So
I don't want to say that's the smartest thing I've heard all day, but that's the smartest thing I've heard all day.
because even if some people, what they do is they grab a insulation from a dog and stuff it in there, it's not gonna do it because insulation isn't airtight. Air is gonna
Right.
go through it and it's gonna, evaporate the water in the air sealer and it's gonna dry it out.
And then it just becomes a bucket of useless rubber
Correct.
with a handle because there's always a paintbrush stuck in it.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Or
So
another thing another people do is they grab Harcas tape or beetle tape, but I mean then you're wasting $10 because that Harcas tape is at least $30 a roll. And they, tape it. Yeah, that's gonna work, but then you're ready.
and it also takes way more time to tape it.
Correct.
And you're not sure if you got a great seal. With this, you paint it on, and you can always go back and hit it again if you need to, and make a really good seal with this stuff. It's way easier than tape, way less expensive than tape, and faster.
And faster.
It's
correct.
crazy not to use it, right? So I just want to reiterate, he got here at 9. It's 12:13, and you saw that system up there. It's buttoned up and ready. So what do you have left?
All I have left is to connect the 18-inch duct and running my line set. And
Okay.
that should be done. Since this is a new construction home, we still gotta wait until they're ready for us to come out and get the outdoor unit, which it will take another day.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna set the outdoor unit later, and we're gonna put the other air handler in
The other
downstairs.
downstairs,
too, right?
correct.
So we did this one up here to kind of keep up with their construction phases of what they're doing,
Correct,
right?
because they have to have, plumbers here, and another thing, if you don't say your things first, then the plumbers are gonna put their things before you, and it's gonna be a pain in the neck.
We love plumbers though, right? Plumbers are awesome, and our lives wouldn't be the same without running water and working drain pipes,
Correct.
right? But on a construction site, we really need to get in there first because otherwise we'll come in and we'll go, I'm going to put that unit there, and bam, isn't there's a 4-inch pipe right in the middle of where we're going.
Right where we're going, or it's water lines and everything. So we have to make sure that we get there first.
Yeah, and electricians too, like they'll take point A, point B, path of least resistance, kind of, and move the wire, not knowing that we're going to put a platform there.
Correct.
So we try to get in on these projects before the plumber and the electrician, because it's real easy for them to run their stuff around what we have. But our stuff is big, so it's harder for us to find a whole new place to put it because there's a 4-inch or a 2-inch vent line for the plumbing or something. So
Correct.
it's good that you're here doing this today. I'm really excited. Tim's come a long way on the house here, and I want to go over and take a look at all the ductwork we pulled out from the old system.